In question number 41, we're asked to find the area of the triangle. The formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. Remember that the height has to be drawn perpendicular to the base. So the base of this triangle is 3 centimeters, and because it's an obtuse triangle, the height is marked outside of the triangle and is 8 centimeters long. So the area will be 1/2 times 3 times 8. 8 times 3 is 24. We take half of that, you get 12, and then we need centimeters squared. Don't forget your units when you're dealing with area and volume. In number 42, we're finding the area of a parallelogram. The formula for this is the same as the formula for area of a rectangle. It's just base times height. So the base would be 67 feet. And the height, which is perpendicular to the base, is 51 feet. Now, this is a parallelogram, so opposite sides are parallel and congruent to each other, so that's how I know my base is 67 feet. Multiply 67 times 51, and you end up with a value of 3,417, and this will be in square feet. This is one that I would put a star next to, is one that is a little bit more challenging. We have to find the exact area, and a clue to finding the exact area is noticing in this lower right hand corner the 60-degree angle. So in here, this would be 30 degrees, and we've got a special right triangle. We know that the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height. It's a little 2 right there. The base would be the 28 feet. And the reason why we have the special right triangle is that we have to use that to find the height. Okay, so recall that in a special right triangle, the side opposite 30 degrees is the short leg, and it's x. The side opposite 60 degrees, you find that length by taking x times the square root of 3. And the hypotenuse is 2 times x. And that's our key. If 18 equals 2x, then x is equal to 9. So this little leg is equal to 9, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use this height is equal to x square root of 3, which is now 9 square root of 3. Okay, when we plug that into our formula, we have area equals 1/2 times 28 times 9 square root of 3. Now, the directions say to find the exact area, so you don't want to type everything into your calculator, but instead do this in steps. 1/2 of 28 gives you 14, and then we're going to multiply it by 9 square root of 3. Again, don't go to your calculator except to do 14 times 9. That part you can do in your calculator. 14 times 9 is 126, and then we'll bring down the square root of 3. We need units on our final answer, and it's going to be in square feet. So 126 square root of 3 square feet is our exact final answer. In number 44, we have to find the area of the trapezoid. Area equals 1/2 of the height times the quantity that's the sum of the two bases. So in here, our height is equal to 39, and our two bases are 20 and 37. Okay, so we're going to simplify a little bit. And add the 20 and the 37 together and get 57. I'm going to take 1/2 of 39 times 57. So 39 times 57 is equal to 2,223. And just take half of that, or divide it by 2 on your calculator. We get 1,111.5, and it's going to be in meters squared. Okay, number 45, we're asked to find the area of an equilateral triangle with sides of 4 centimeters. So label each side with 4. Keep in mind that because it's equilateral, all 3 angles will be 60 degrees. But I'm not going to put that third 60 in there because I know to find the area, we need the height. Because the formula for area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So we already know it's going to be 1/2 times 4 times whatever we get for the height. So that height is perpendicular to the base, and that makes these two little triangles special right triangles. So across from 30 degrees is x. The height would be x squared root of 3, and the hypotenuse is 2 times x. So 4 is equal to 2x, then x is equal to 2. So this little side would be 2. The height is 2 square root of 3. And let's plug that into our area formula. So half of 4 right here just gives us 2. And then we're going to take and multiply it by 2 square root of 3. 2 times 2 square root of 3 is 4 square root of 3. And we need centimeters squared. So it didn't say to round to the nearest tenth, so that's how I knew to find the exact area. Okay, number 46, it says find the area of the sector with an arc of 60 degrees in a circle with radius of 12 centimeters. So the area of a sector is found by taking the measure of the angle, which is 60 degrees. So we're going to do angle divided by 360, because that's what tells us what fraction of the circle we're dealing with. And then we multiply it by the formula for the area of a circle, which is pi r squared. So we want to do 60 over 360, which is going to simplify really nicely, times pi times our radius of 12 squared. So 60 over 360 simplifies to 1/6. 12 squared is 144, then times pi. So you can write it as 144 pi over 6. When you simplify this, just do 144 divided by 6 on your calculator, and you get 24 pi. And it is an area, so we do need units. And those units are going to be centimeters squared for this one. So 24 pi centimeters squared. So for number 47, it says to find the volume and surface area of a sphere with a diameter of 12 inches. Be careful, because the formula for volume is 4/3 pi r cubed, and the formula for area of a sphere is 4 pi r squared. Notice that it doesn't mention the diameter, but it mentions the radius. So if diameter equals 12 inches, the radius is equal to 6. So for the volume, we want to do 4/3 times pi times 6 cubed. 6 raised to the 3rd power is 216. So we're going to do 4/3 times 216 pi. Now you can multiply the 4 by the 216 if you want, and get 864 divided by 3, and we need a pi in there. So 864 divided by 3 is going to give us 288 pi, and it'll be in inches cubed, because that's a volume, so it's measured in cubic inches. For the surface area, come up and we want to do 4 pi times 6 squared, so the radius squared. So we want to do 4 times 36 next. So 4 times 36 gives us 144 pi. And this will be in inches squared. At number 48, we're asked to find the volume of the pyramid. So we'll start with the volume formula, which is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. So capital B is not just the length of one side of the base, but it is the area of the base. So if you take a look, notice that our base is a square, so the area of the base would be just 12 times 12, or 144 square centimeters. So volume is equal to 1/3 times that 144 square centimeters times a height of 9. So you can just multiply all that out on your calculator. 144 times 9, and then divide it by 3. We get 432 cubic centimeters. Final answer. Number 49 asks us to find the volume of the cylinder with a radius of 4 centimeters and a height of 8 centimeters. We have to leave our answer in exact form, which means that we should have pi in our answer. So the formula for volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times height, because pi r squared is the area of the base, which is a circle, then multiplied by the height. So it's similar to the formula for volume of a prism, where it's just area of the base times the height. We just have a circular base in this one. So the radius is 4, so we'll do pi times 4 squared. The height is 8. So we have pi times 16 times 8. So your final answer after you do 16 times 8 should be 128 pi, and we need centimeters cubed. And number 50, it says find the volume of a right rectangular prism with length 4 centimeters, width 10 centimeters, and height 1.7 centimeters. So we've got a rectangular prism. It'll look something like this. Okay, so it has a length of 4, width of 10 centimeters, and a height of 1.7 centimeters. So volume for a prism, it is just area of the base times the height, but you might want to think of it as length times width times height, because the length and the width, the 4 and the 10, will give us the area of that base. So we simply need to take 4 times 10 times 1.7, and the volume of this prism is equal to 68 centimeters cubed. Final answer.